Welcome to the Gritcast, where we get into the nitty-gritty of all things hockey. From the East to the West Coast. Here are your hosts, Matt Pierce, Nikosh Ganguly, and Darius Dominguez.
Well, everyone, welcome back to the show. Your boy is back after, a little week hiatus, but it seems like the guys held it down. They really made it known to me that they held it down. They let me know that it was the best episode ever.
It was
really nice.
Did you listen?
I must say, no, I don't care.
You know what? Fair enough. I respect it.
Anyway, so guys, welcome everyone back to episode, what is this, 30 of 30. The Gritcast. We're 30 episodes deep, fellas. So we're 70 away from 100. So 70 more weeks. Anyway, first things first, guys. The Leafs lost yesterday in I wouldn't say the worst fashion, but it would have been nice if they won. And I was talking to the fellas on the show. If we did a post game podcast, the show would be way more graphic. But I've had the day to sleep on it, think about it, and I'm still angry, but not as angry. Before we get into it, fellas, how are we doing this week? How's everyone doing?
Excellent. Just lots of playoff hockey, even playoff basketball too. Just soaking up like this part of the year, like mid to late April, sports wise, fantastic. You can't beat it. You really can't.
It's literally Christmas for sports fans. Like it and there's games all like into the night. It's beautiful. It's fantastic.
Honestly, like I literally get to my couch, around 6:30, 6:45. And then I sit there till like 2 a.m. to watch stuff. And if there's overtime, like it's even longer. So it's like it's crazy. But the Leafs lost. They lost 3-2 to Tampa Bay. I think it was, and they also now lead the series 3-2, even though they had a chance to close it in 5, as Matt's prediction was. We were riding a little bit of the high when we go up 3-1, big comeback, which we obviously didn't get to talk about, but. Alex Kerfoot, OT hero, as everyone predicted. And the Leafs come back to Toronto, up 2 games in the series with a chance to close it out. And they do not. First period especially, it was just like a redux of the first 2 games. They get killed. Tampa Bay does that thing where they clog up the neutral zone, and then, the Leafs don't know what to do. But one thing I will ask you guys, who has been the most notable defenseman on the Leafs, good or bad?
Darius, I'll let you take the reins on one because there's 2 obvious answers here.
Well, there's 2 obvious answers. I would say on the good side, Morgan Riley's come to play. Like playoff Riley's here. He looks awesome. 3 goals in the last 3 games. And not only that, like defensively with Schenn, I kind of like that pairing. I have no real issues with that. They've looked good. Justin Hall, go straight to jail. Go straight to jail, sir. You should never see the ice again in this series. Sheldon Keefe, I don't want to get riled up this fast, but here we are. Sheldon Keefe last night said, when he gets scored on every time he's on the ice, there are 4 other guys on the ice with him, including Giordano. Hey, but guess what? We have eyes, and we're watching the game. He's getting cooked every play. It's him. No one else.
Awful. It's
him.
Awful.
Nobody else. I don't give a shit about the other 4 guys, 5 guys, including Samsonov. It's him getting cooked every time. Those are my 2 answers, Matt.
It was like that first goal against where Hall drops his stick and it just leads to that odd man rush for the Bolts. And it's like, what are you doing?
But why? Okay, he drops his stick, right? But do you know why he dropped his stick? Because pinched at the blue line to make a hit at the blue line. Why?
But the thing is, too, if you pinch, you have to fully commit to your pinch. You know what I mean? He
never does.
You can't kind of pinch and then kind of back off. Because when you do that change of speed, the forward's just going to freaking blow by you, for one. So you're going to pinch, fully commit to the pinch, and let the forward, take your kind of role there. But the stat, what was the stat? I'm trying to find it here.
Updated.
Justin Hall has been on the ice for 14 goals against. That is the most by any Maple Leafs player in a single playoff series over the past decade.
10
See,
years.
that just sounds like the most of like any player in the league over the past decade.
Dude, it's crazy. Every time Tampa scores a goal, Justin 70% of the time Justin Hall is on the ice. And Keith keeps freaking. I don't know if it's player coach defends his player, because obviously you can't pull a Rick bonus, which we'll get into. And just shrill your freaking player in the media, especially when you haven't lost yet. So you can't do that. Maybe after the series we'll talk about a little more depending on who wins or loses. But I don't know what to say. One thing I also want to get into is Austin Matthews has looked amazing in this playoff series. He's scoring the clutch goals when it matters. He had a goal yesterday. He had 2 goals in the comeback. He's just scoring. He's putting a lot of things in. He's getting different areas. I'm very disappointed in Mitch Marner and John Tavares. John Tavares, you know what's crazy? He had a hat trick this series, but ever since then I haven't noticed him. And Mitch Marner, man, when he doesn't put that breakaway last night, I'm like, man, that's almost typical. You know what I mean?
It was almost like it was warm-ups. Like, just the straight disrespect Vasilevsky showed Marner. It was just a simple blocker save.
Literally.
It's like, get that out of my face. What is that? He almost seemed insulted that that was Marner's attempt. And like you said to Darius and I, like, he has the best hands on the team, and all he does is just float a muffin on net.
I think I was reading the other day, or I saw like a thread on Twitter that Vasilevsky is the best goalie in the league on breakaways facing a shot rather than a deke. And you can't tell me that the Leafs don't have that information and have told all of their guys that. So for Marner to come in and shoot from the hash marks where he had a breakaway from the blue line.
He was free. Like, he was so free. He was so free.
As soon as he didn't score there, I was like, that is your opportunity to tie the game, because you don't know what happens after that if you tie the game, right? The game is up in the air. Mm-hmm. But that is your opportunity. He missed, and I was like, that's it. They've lost the game. I don't care what they do after. I don't know how these moments elude him every single time. It's so baffling.
It's crazy.
He leads the league in scoring in the playoffs, and he's a ghost.
Yeah. And it's like, another thing is too, every line has struggled except for whatever line Matthews is on. Mm-hmm. When you look at the numbers and like the possession and the expected goals percentage, Tavares line, no matter who he's playing with, he gets killed. Ryan O'Reilly hasn't been getting killed, but he's had his moments. And the fourth line, I don't even know what they're doing out there. No. Anyway, Keith before the game starts, Michael Bunting's suspension is over. It's done, right? And we're like, okay, you bring the guy back in. He's more proven than the fourth liners. He maybe hasn't had the counting stats lately, but we all know he's more skilled. He can offer more. And he doesn't play him because winning, you got to keep the winning roster. But these guys, look, I get they've won. And in the playoffs, literally all that matters is winning, okay? It doesn't matter how you win or why you win. It just matters that you won. And the winning roster has gotten killed. Like, what is it? 4 out of 6 periods. They played well in the third and they won. You gotta shake it up. I feel like you gotta change something. The winning formula isn't winning; they're getting lucky. So,
yeah,
I just think it's crazy.
I have to go on the other side of this, where I agree with if you haven't lost, don't change it. I'm on that end. So I agree with that. But now that you've lost Game 5, you gotta make some changes for Game 6. That includes Hall, and Bunting's got to come in, and he's got to come in for either Aston Reese or Lafferty. I would say Lafferty. I know Lafferty gives you size, but holy smokes, that guy does zero.
There's nothing. He literally does nothing.
No.
He just shot on goal yesterday. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And the parade.
And like Dubas was saying, like, these are the guys. We got a bunch of these guys to be like Nick Pauls, right? That guy will never be Nick Paul. Like, he'll never score in a moment like that. You need your top guys to do that, right? So
it's brutal.
No, I would take Lafferty out for Bunting. Bunting has to play in Game 6, 100%.
Yeah, of course he does. And I don't know. I think it's insane that they keep running Hall Giordano out there. I know you can exclusively put the blame on Hall, but let's be real. Giordano's old and he hasn't looked that great this series. They're giving him the power play is dominating us, or the penalty kill is nothing. It's brutal, and you gotta split that pair up. But Riley Shannon looks really good. I think TJ Brody's very injured. That guy does not look
Something
normal.
Has to be.
He's a shell of his former self. Like, even I noticed. Like normally when I would watch Leaf games and he'd dominate, like you hardly heard his name, and that's how a defenseman most nights is playing up to his standard. But it's just his name was mentioned all over the place, like caught out of position, not making like the obvious play. So yeah, it's got to be some sort of injury.
Yeah, he's playing like really hesitant. Like he just looks
which
weird, like
do.
completely not in his element at all. So something's up. In saying that too, with injuries, Nylander has to be sick, right? Because that guy.
Oh my god, dude, he's not trying.
I don't know what it is. Like he must be shitting his brains out. He must have the most
violent
stomach
flu. I love Nylander. I think Nylander's an amazing player. But sometimes I'll be watching it and like the puck's like 3 more strides ahead of him. I'm like, bro, just go get it.
He had one play. He had one play last night where he stripped. I forget who it was. He came up from behind. The Leafs were on the power play, and he came up behind, stripped the puck, and he made a good rush, and he almost scored off of it. And I was like, great. That is a great shift to build off of. And then I don't think I thought about him for the rest of the game. Like,
no,
he has been so brutal. It's crazy.
I have another Leafs fan friend. I seem to have like a bunch of them. And then he was texting me during the game last night. He's like, Nylander looks like he's excited for the World Championships. And I've never laughed that hard at a text recently. It's like, funny. You know what? You might be onto something there.
But funny. I just don't get like they keep telling us every year when they lose, like, oh, we've learned from this and we will play harder. We will be better next year. And it's like, how many lessons do you have to learn? Because we're at the point where it's like, you have to, buckle down and play well. And I look at like Matthews, he's playing, obviously the offensive numbers speak for themselves, like you said, right? And he's putting up the goals. He's making a name for himself in the series. He's great defensively. I find this series, he's really getting in there. And he's throwing the bod. Like, there are only 3 guys on the Leafs that are throwing the body, I think, like the way it should be in the playoffs. And it's him, Shen, and maybe Achari and O'Reilly. 4 guys. That's it. Nobody else is finishing their checks or even trying.
Yeah.
And they're also not really. I agree. They're also not really building off momentum because like Riley scores, Scotiabank, the fans are on their feet.
Okay, hold on. I want to talk about this because first of all,
please.
Morgan Riley walks in, he snipes it. The guy's been freaking insane the whole series, right? And then what is fucking dumb? What is he throws out Giordano and Hall on the next shift?
I was about to make that point. You scored, you have all the momentum, you're on home ice, the city is ready to explode, and after a goal, you put out the worst defensive pairing in the last 10 years.
What are you? And I don't even think he threw out like one of like the top 2 lines too. Like I don't know.
It was I'm pretty sure it was the 4th line. I could find it. Dude, let me find it. But continue.
No, put Tavares. Dude, I don't understand why he's rolling the 4th line so much. Who cares? Play Matthews like 26 minutes. The guy's fine. He's in the prime of his career. It's a joke. And I do want to before we.
It was O'Reilly.
Before we kind of wrap up here. First of all, Kerfoot. Look, I'm happy he scored. That guy still does nothing. Like, it doesn't change what he does. You know what I mean? So, another thing is, so you take Kerfoot off the second line, you put Nyes up there. Sure, Nyes is a more offensively gifted player. We've seen that. Like, he gets his chances. I don't know how he hasn't scored yet, to be honest with you. Maybe he's holding the stick a little too tight, but I don't know what's going on there. But you want to get Ryan O'Reilly and put him with Kerfoot and Achari? What's the point of having him there? Kerfoot doesn't look. Kerfoot, his skill set is made for the 4th line and the penalty kill. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that because it's the playoffs. Look, he makes a lot of money, but we don't have to talk about that. I think that's fine, right? You could have Ashton Reese, then you can have David Camp, then you can have Kerfoot. That's a cool 4th line. I feel like. And then imagine you can have like Bunting, O'Reilly, and Achari. No one wants to deal with that shit. And to build on that, Sheldon Keefe is getting worked by John Cooper. Holy crap, is he getting worked
on home ice? Home ice,
bro. There was moments in the game watching. We're in Scotiabank Arena. Why is Lafferty out there against Kucherov? What the hell? What are you doing? Look, we're trying to go for matches and stuff. Bro, don't trade 4th lines for 1st lines. It's not worth it. I'd rather have Matthews try and get the matchup against fucking Braden Point because he's Austin friggin' Matthews. He should be winning any matchup he's in. So it's crazy. And I also, if the 4th lines are deciding your series, something else is wrong. And then because the Leafs have made Andre Vasilevsky look very human. He's had a sub 900 save. And he was really good yesterday. and Samsonov was not. He lets in that crappy goal, but also because Justin Hall tried to do an L2 spinorama at the blue line when he's playing defense. I don't know what you're doing there, but it's awful. And I was talking about this with my friend. Sorry to go on a tangent here, but I've been waiting to do this since last night.
Do tell.
So we had a discussion. So the Leafs have not lost a game in Tampa Bay yet, right? Right?
This year.
They won both. Okay. And they come back with all momentum in Game 5 at home ice. And the last game they won at home, they won 7-2 or 7-3 or whatever. They absolutely destroyed them. Mind you, Victor Hedman wasn't playing. That guy's made a huge difference this series. Obviously, he's one of the best players in the league. But now you have to go into Tampa, Game 6, coming off a loss, and you have to win 3 in Tampa, all 3 games. And then if they lose, they're not going to win Game 7. They don't win Game 7. So the Leafs have to sweep Tampa Bay in Tampa, or if they don't, they have to win a Game 7. They're 0-10 in elimination games.
0-11.
11 after last
night.
Oh,
0-11. My fucking fault. But
make it 13.
I know. It's like, dude, the city, all fans, the optimism was insane. Like it's crazy. How the people thought we were gonna win. Nobody ever thinks the Leafs are gonna win. People thought we were gonna win, but now they've lost. Right? All the momentum is gone. Justin Hall is the main story because the guy stinks, and based on everything Keith says, he might play again. And if you play him in Tampa, they're just gonna hunt him with Kucherov, Stamkos, and Point and get eaten alive. And now, so Tampa has won 2 games in Toronto, and Toronto has won 1 game in Toronto. Toronto has won 2 games in Tampa, and now they have to win in Tampa to try and close it out, which is hard to do because they've been in the Stanley Cup Finals the past 3 years. Let's not forget that. And then, if they don't, they have to win a Game 7, which, hey, fellas, come on here.
I think it's pretty well known that if it goes 7, the Leafs are losing this series.
See, but here's the thing. What strikes me, it's such a Leafs thing. Like, let's say the clock strikes midnight and the Leafs win a Game 7. I know that's only really possible on, like, the PlayStation or Xbox. But it's such a Leafs thing. It's like they got over the hump. Guess what? You get Boston now. Like,
but you can't even. I don't know. You can't even think like that. The first round is such a mental block that you just have to get past that first. That the second round is not an issue. Look at what we're talking about today. They lost Game 5. They're still up 3-2, and everyone's like, they've lost the series. This is insane.
Literally
talk. It's insane talk. But this team is dumb as shit, and they've done this for 10 years on end every single time. Nick, are you worried? I'm so worried. They should have won that game last night.
I legitimately think they're done.
I have to give him a shout out. I was talking to one of my neighbors, older gentleman, and he's a Habs fan. He's watched hockey for his whole life, right? And he texted me last night saying, he's seen it a lot of times. The team goes up 3-1, and then they got to win on the road. They got to close out the series on the road. He thinks they're going to do it. That's what his text was. Just like Boston, he goes, Boston had a mental lapse there. They lost by 1 goal, and they should have closed it out in 5. Now they got to win on the road. And I was like, wow, you're right. Have you ever in your life watched a Leafs game in the last 6 years? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm very worried.
They're scared. They're getting outcoached. They're getting outmanned. They're outgunned. The goalies are worse. The defensemen are worse. One defenseman specifically. The Leafs have one superstar playing, in a positive manner. And Sheldon Keefe is getting his clock cleaned by John Cooper at any stage.
Can I ask you one final question, actually? So I know you probably want to move on, but just one final question. Every time you watch the Titanic, what happens at the end?
The ship
it sinks. It sinks every time. There's no alternate ending. It happens every time.
You know why? Because it's sunk in real life.
There's enough room on that board, fellas.
Yeah. Anyways, Saturday.
That's a different conversation. That's a different podcast.
The Leafs are in Amalie Arena in Tampa Bay, looking to close out the series. 7 p.m. start time Eastern, and we'll all be seated and watching. But let's move on to.
And then Game 7 will be Monday night at 7 o'clock Eastern.
Probably at 7. So maybe we do another show on Sunday? Tuesday. Tuesday.
Yeah. No, we can do it Monday. It'll be over Monday. At least we'll win on Saturday. Saturday, Sunday. Go Leafs, go.
Yeah. Goalies go.
So,
Anyway,
Monday will either be like a post game 7 show or like a more upbeat show. Anyways, Nick, sorry, go on.
Tuesday, if we do a show, it'll be a funeral. I'll give a eulogy, just like Derek Lalonde does on every panel. And then and then if we do a show after Game 7, it will be a celebration of life instead of a funeral. So, fellas, now let's go across the border to the state of New York, or Newark, whatever the hell's going on over there. New Jersey Devils.
Newark is not a
Matt,
the
you
state
said they
of
were gonna get sweet.
Hold on.
We're not skipping over that.
The state of Newark. Newark's in New Jersey,
sorry.
my guy.
I screwed up. Sorry, I screwed up my words.
State of New Jersey.
The state,
Yes, that's what I
the
meant to
city of
say.
Carolina.
Relax. Anyway, Matt.
Yes.
So you said the Rangers were gonna sweep the Devils, right? Can you tell me what the series is right now?
Did I say sweep? I said it was gonna be a Rangers. Did I say sweep?
Yeah, you did.
I remember in the short
Last week.
Oh,
you were
my-
like, I think it's over.
Last week.
Am I that much of a dumbass? Okay, I'll own up to it. It's 3-2 Devils. That's what the series is sitting at right now.
And you guys want to know why it's 3-2 Devils? Akira Schmid, or I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah.
Apologies. Is been insane for the Devils. You know who else has been really good for them? Andre Palat, who just scored his 50th playoff goal, which is insanity considering the runs he's had with Tampa as well. Akira Schmid, guys, who is this guy?
You know, honestly, off the top of my head, like, why I think this is working so well for the Devils. Like, I think he's a good goaltender, but the Rangers have no video on him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I don't think... Did he play at all this year?
Yeah, he did a little. He got a few games in.
Okay, a couple
For sure.
games.
I can pull up the stats for the season. 18 games played, 9 wins, 5 losses, 2 overtime losses.
Okay.
Respectable
Good sample
stats.
size, yeah.
A
Not
213 goals against average and a save percentage of 922. So fairly
good.
respectable stats.
Not bad at all. But they know Vanacek. That the book's out there, and also Shesterkin, he's been good, but somehow he's getting outdueled by Akira Schmid, which is there's another goalie duel that ended up actually losing a series, which is the next series we'll talk about. But I feel like one thing that's crazy is the Rangers are so stacked on paper when you're looking at guys like I know Patrick Kane really hasn't been that amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Jay Fresh tweet about it saying like at 5-on-5 he has like a 30% expected goals percentage, which for those of you that don't know, anything kind of below 50 really isn't that great. That's that. And I haven't heard a whole lot about Tarasenko. He lost Darius' camera, but it's fine. We'll keep going.
I'm here. Just technical difficulties.
It's not really that much of a loss, but keep going there, Nick.
We haven't heard a whole lot about Tarasenko. I know he had a goal in like the first couple games, so there's that. But the Devils, man, I saw some tweets saying that Jack Hughes is too small for playoff hockey. I think we've kind of moved past that as well. The Devils are also very deep. You look at their defensemen. We're talking about Dougie Hamilton, John Marino, Damon Severson, Jonas Iguodala. They're very good. But Matt, what's happening with the Rangers, man?
They've slowed down, and not only that, but the Devils like have found a counter. It's almost like ridiculous how night and day from like games 1 and 2 went to how 3, 4, and 5 went. It's just everybody on New Jersey is just stepping up, and that's the real key to it. Like you said, their depth showing up. Last game, Eric Holla 2 goals. He had Dawson Mercer score, like you said, Andre Palat. So it's not just like Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier doing all like the heavy lifting. It's the others that are starting to sort of step up there.
Exactly. And well, I originally picked Devils in 7, looking pretty good right now, I must say. I do think the Rangers do get a game back. Because if the Devils win the next game, the Rangers basically got swept. Basically.
Yeah.
So, that's another thing too, right? With the Leafs thing, it's like the Leafs would have won 4 in a row, like if it happened. So
That's hard to do.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
I think the Devils, just to touch on that quickly too, the games 3, 4, and 5, they've flipped the switch to where they can play their game. Games 1 and 2 were so out of their realm, like completely in the hands of the Rangers and the way they wanted to dictate the game. And the games have now looked more like how the Devils want the pace of the games to go, and it suits them a lot better. So I'm not surprised that they've won, because the first two games were really weird, like what 5-1 and 5-2 or something. Like it's kind of stupid. Yeah,
it killed them.
So it's a little closer now, but I think the Rangers get one back. It's going 7. For sure, I think it's going 7. It'd be crazy if they got like swept 4 in a row. But we'll see what happens in that game 7.
Yeah. And I'm just to wrap that up. I think the Devils, a lot of these guys aren't used to playoff hockey, and like how to dictate, like the bright lights. Sometimes the lights were too bright. But the bright lights might have been too bright for the Devils at first, but they got used to it, and now a lot of the playoffs is, first of all, finding a way and also playing your way. I think the Devils have found that out, and it also helps that they're getting some stops now because Vanacek was getting shelled. But guys, we have the first team to move on to the second round. The Vegas Golden Knights defeat the Winnipeg Jets in 5 games. Talking to or just listening to Brad, seeing his tweets. He was quite angry at this squad. But let's give a little credit to Vegas before we tear into Winnipeg, because there's always two sides to the story. Vegas, you're looking at goalies. Laurent Brossoit out duels Connor Hellebuyck, who is objectively one of the best goalies in the league, Connor Hellebuyck, and Mark Stone and Jack Eichel. Despite Mark Stone coming off a back injury, he looked great. Jack Eichel's first taste of playoff hockey, he looked amazing, despite maybe having an off first game. And William Karlsson looked great. And in this game, Shea Theodore didn't play. So do what you will with that information. But yeah, Vegas, man, just trucking along here. Goaltending was their biggest question. And by the end of the series, it was, their biggest advantage. So, but the Winnipeg Jets, they dealt with a lot of injuries this series. Mark Scheifele got hurt a couple times. Josh Morrissey injured. And Nick Ehlers only played a couple games. You could argue whether or not he was at full health too for all those players. But the big storyline coming out is Kyle Connor and Pierre-Luc Dubois were pretty much no-shows throughout this series. And I don't know what we do from what the Jets do from here.
I think there's only really like 4 names, like 3 or 4 names that like the Jets can hold on to comfortably, and then just like sort of liquidate the rest. Like keep like Lowry, like just like the veteran core, Lowry, Connor, Ehlers, and then that 4th name can be up in the air. But I think this is the offseason to sort of liquidate, because when this era of Jets hockey is bookended by a 5-game defeat to the Knights, that's when you kind of know you have to move on. Otherwise, it'll just keep going in circles, and they'll turn into the Canucks, where instead of doing like a full-blown rebuild, they just sort of like try to piece it together and make something out of it when it's clearly not working.
I didn't think Matt was going to go that route, I'm going to be honest, but I kind of have to agree in the way that I don't think you wait till sometime. It's kind of like the Mike Babcock thing. Like, do it now. Don't wait till halfway through the next season, Blow up that freaking team. They should trade Hellebuyck. They should, because he's still a very useful asset for another team who's contending, and they can get a king's ransom for him. They should trade him. A lot of the top guys, like Scheifele, doesn't even want to be there.
He's gone.
It's pretty obvious. Gone. Like, get that guy out of town. Trade.
Same with Dubois.
Yeah, trade Dubois. Like, get that guy out of town sooner rather than later. Like, they're poisoning the well. And I think as you bring in guys like Brad Lambert, who are going to take over the team, you need like.
Cole Perfetti's still young.
Cole Perfetti's still very young. You need some good vibes in that room. Get rid of Blake Wheeler too. Like, blow that shit up this summer. Like,
and then
next season, bro, just tell Dubois to fuck off.
Yeah, like go kick rocks. like we're not even gonna trade you. Just leave. Like,
yeah, it's not
and
even
like sort of seeing it like throughout the season here, like the yo-yo situation with Ville Heinola, like almost made me feel for the guy. Like, either keep him up full time, or.
Because that guy's an NHL defenseman.
He's good. Right? He's good. Yes. Like, seeing with the Moose, like I watched a few Moose games. Don't know why, but I did. But even watching him, like he like commanded the game.
Yeah, because he's an NHL caliber
he's
talent
good
in the AHL. Yeah,
yeah.
It's
but
shocking.
for like shovel day off, that's almost like sort of like disrespectful. Like, either play the guy full time or trade him to a team that will do the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think another thing is their deadline was very underwhelming. You bring in a guy like Nino Niederreiter, who was good, solid, but like the other big name is Nemestikov, who's been okay, but it's like, come on, you were at 1 point fighting for first in your division, and then stuff went south. And I think diving really into the series here, I know Connor Hellebuyck got like outdueled per se, but you obviously can't blame the guy. The history is there, the priors is there, and it just seemed like there was a sense of relief for some Jets fans when they lost. It was like, look, now it's time to really take a big look at the squad and see what the problem is, because people thought after last season this is what should have been done, right? They should have got blown up. They stripped Wheeler of the captaincy. They fired their coach, or they didn't fire their coach. I think Marie stepped down. Shifley was saying some crazy things in the media, and they were like, okay, you trade Shifley, you trade Wheeler, like what at that point. But they ran it back, and they had a very good first half of the season, and it was enough to get them into the playoffs. Barely, but enough to get them in. Okay? But then you face a powerhouse Vegas team. Mark Stone comes back. Jack Eichel's been crazy. They have a lot of depth. They made good deadline moves. Their defense is deep. The goalie, as I said, was the question mark, but it played out fine. And now you have a team that is – there's a lot to be done in Winnipeg. And is Kevin Cheveldayoff the guy that should be doing it? So my one thing is to I do want to we'll insert this post production, but there was a quote from Rick Bowness here. I'll preface it here. He basically said if I can find it, he said he was disappointed and disgusted by the lack of pushback his team showed in the series against the Golden Knights. And then another thing he said was their players were so much better than our players tonight, and it's not even close. Now, if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about what Winnipeg did wrong in that series, I don't know what else. I think it's very disappointing for Jets fans. I don't know what's going on in that room. I think it's time for a shakeup, and I think they would be insane, very insane, to not get rid of Shifley or trade Dubois or let that guy go to Montreal where he wants to play so bad. And then this Blake, who even was Blake Wheeler? The guy makes so much money and he's old. So it's like, what are you gonna do? Josh Morrissey, he got hurt, but now you need to select a new captain. They have some young guys coming up, but before we move on to the next series here, congratulations to Vegas. They are gonna go on to face, I believe it's the Oilers or the Kings, which is the series we'll get into later because they have like 2 days off or something. So that was great. But yeah. Vegas moves on, first team in the league to move on. We love the handshake, British tradition in sports, as the NHL likes to say. And then, we'll see. Well, Winnipeg's going to be fun throughout the offseason. There's a lot of stuff to be done there. But the Carolina Hurricanes, fellas.
Mm-hmm.
One of the series that I think everyone argued the only upset could have been. If there's going to be an upset, it was going to be the Islanders going up against Carolina. And a big question mark, the Hurricanes goaltending. Who's going to be in that? Antti Raanta has looked good versus Ilya Sorokin. Another, arguably one of the best goalies in the league. The Brock Nelson line, I believe he's playing with like Engvall and someone else has looked good. Engvall scored a playoff goal. Insanity.
Wow.
The Islanders should just win the series because of that. And the most fun part, I believe, of this series has been Sebastian Aho versus Sebastian Aho, guys. How are you feeling about the Aho matchup?
It's not often you get like a coincidence like that. It's like it was funny like after like the first 2 games, and then I was like, hilarious. Yeah, move on. Come on.
It's a commentator's nightmare.
It really is.
Like it's the
Aho,
same
I mean
name.
the Hurricanes Aho.
It's not even like they can use their first names. They have the same name. I think it's pretty interesting series, no? Like, I feel like everyone thought it was going to go a certain way, and it definitely hasn't. I still think it goes 7, though. I don't know what you guys think. Like, I don't think the Islanders lose at home tonight, right? They play tonight?
They do.
Yeah. Yes. And I think the Islanders they've looked solid, too.
Mm-hmm.
They've really put it together. Bo Horvat really hasn't done a whole lot in terms of production, but he's played his role well. And you have a good 1-2 punch there with Barzal and Horvat. So, but Carolina, I really liked Seth Jarvis's game. He's super young, and only getting better. Amazing draft pick by them. But Martin Netchas, man, I expected a little more out of him. He had that play where he got dumped into the bench. They got up, Islanders bench, by the way, and they tried to punch an Islanders player. I don't know what's going on over there. I also don't know how we got a penalty. So that was a little bit crazy. But honestly, if I'm being real with you guys, the Islanders Hurricane series is one of the lesser entertaining series, I think. For me personally, just because when it's on, I might be watching another series. But yeah, I think as Darius said, I think the Islanders win this game, and it goes to Game 7. It's been interesting. I think these playoff matchups have been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of overtimes. So, which brings me to the Boston Bruins. Now, a lot of people had Boston winning in 4, and tonight we have a Game 6. And why do we have a Game 6? Because Linus Ullmark decided in overtime he's gonna play the puck, and then Florida scored. Now, let's be real here. Florida has basically gotten killed every single game except one. They've gotten destroyed, shots, literally everything. But Bobrovsky took over for Alex Lyon, and he made an insane amount of saves in that overtime win. I think they got outshot by like double. The Bruins were pumping over 40 shots at him. It was crazy. And Bergeron came back, and Boston lost. So, guys, I must ask the question. Is Boston better without Bergeron? Darius, what do you think?
Yeah, 100%. That guy should sit. They should definitely scratch him.
Right?
Yeah. No. That was a really unfortunate play in overtime. They lost up. Great play by Kachuk, too, because that's not easy to do. He, to take it to the backhand, too, to make sure it goes in. That was a nice play. But, yeah, I think the Bruins definitely wrapped this up in 7 games at home.
7?
7.
Yeah, they're gonna lose.
I think Pastrnak explodes tonight. He's only had 2 points this whole playoff series in Game 1 and 3, and I mean he's not going to stay quiet for that long. He's really not.
It would be hard to
Never
keep him
does.
quiet, but
especially with Bergeron back, that guy's probably poised to have a good night.
Yeah.
And I think Krejci's still injured, which is pretty big for them. But Florida, man, they're making it interesting. They should be losing, but like I said, the playoffs are just about wins. Just win, baby.
I was told Ice Tilt doesn't exist, but this series is this series is an Ice Tilt series.
I think everyone should make a bigger deal about Bob playing as well as he is too, because he's kind of come in and you know, like when he's been called upon, like he's played pretty well, I think. So, and everyone's kind of like thinks he's like past his prime in a way. Like,
okay, he is though.
I know,
he
but
really
like,
is.
I know, but like he's playing well still. I don't know. It's pretty interesting storyline, no? Like,
well, I mean,
good outings.
It's easy to look that good when you're getting shelled and you're keeping your team in close games.
That's true. I always find like the higher scoring games too, like whoever's getting shelled, like you tend to play better just because you're seeing the puck more. So I think there's a little bit of that too. So if he can kind of get in his rhythm, if the Bruins are putting up like 40, 45 shots on him, I think Panthers could do something.
Yeah, which they might be, because I think Ekblad is still dealing with an injury. So
he played last game though. I think he was in the box.
Can we?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we talk about like? I hate to like nitpick about this, but what kind of rule book does Radko Gudas get?
Yeah.
Like this dude is all over Marchand at every single point, and it's like, all right,
it's because fuck Marchand.
Well, okay, yeah, but
the rules. This guy's giving Marchand an F5 through the table, and the rest like.
Hold on.
Yeah,
did you guys see that Charlie McAvoy slash on Sam Bennett? He tried to take his foot off.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that? That was crazy.
But no, it was in the last 5 minutes, so no call.
So yeah.
Yeah, my fault. Or like if it's a delayed penalty, there can't be any other penalties. It just can't happen.
The only sport where you could literally like viciously hurt somebody in the last 5 minutes of the game, and the refs would be like,
and there's nothing. Whoa.
Hey man, game management.
That's playoff hockey, baby.
For the cup. Like, no, that is assault, actually. Anyway.
If he did that outside of the hockey game, he'd be in prison. So
he'd be on trial.
So I think guys, Boston wraps it up tonight. It's been going too long. It's like when you're watching The Undertaker versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and it's like, come on, bro. Like, what are we?
Stop playing with your food. Come on, wrap it up. Come on.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Or anytime like some old wrestler comes back to fight some new guys, like I don't even want to.
Yeah, anytime Goldberg shows up, it's like, all right.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one of 15 Goldberg returns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
it's
last
like
3 seconds.
It's like why are the New Age Outlaws on my screen? Like,
they're the old age outlaws now. Okay, my bad. Anyway, yeah, I think Boston wraps it up. But now I think a little bit more entertaining than I thought it would be, fellas. Dallas is up 3-2 on Minnesota. I think one big question is, so after Minnesota won that first game in overtime, they decided to go with Marc-Andre Fleury, and then they got shelled. Do you guys think if Minnesota loses this series, people will look back at that game and be like, why didn't you just put Gus in net?
That could be one of the reasons, but not the main reason.
No, I don't think it's I don't know. It's pretty interesting. I don't think that's the reason they would have lost the series. Although I think they still win Game 6. I think this series is far from over still.
It's been even, and I think Dallas' power play has been really good. They got a pretty extended one. Tyler Seguin has had a very good playoffs. Along with Jason Robertson and Rupe Hintz, they've all looked very good. When we were previewing the series, well, kind of, because friggin' matches weren't set yet.
That cluster. Don't even remind me of that.
But when we're talking about it, we're like, this would probably be one of the most boring series in the playoffs. And I don't think it really has been. It's been pretty entertaining. It's been hard hitting. It's been very physical. The refs don't know what they're doing. Marcus Foligno seems like he's in the box every goddamn game. For something weird.
Did you see he got suspended though? For it was last game, right?
He did?
Yeah, did he not get suspended for that knee on knee? Or he got kicked out of the game or something?
Yeah, he got kicked out of the game, but
I don't think it
looked like it was
a suspension.
I was probably not suspension. I was probably thinking like he got a game misconduct. Sorry.
Yeah.
To clarify.
It didn't. I don't think he was attempting to be malicious. It was a weird play.
Yeah.
But the guy gets kicked out of the game. There was a 5-minute major. One of them where Dallas scores. Dallas won the last game, I think 4-0.
Oettinger shutout.
Yeah, it was a slaughter.
Oettinger pitched a shutout. And he's still cementing himself as one of the, there's a lot of good goalies in the NHL right now, which is a lot of fun. And a lot of like superstar level save everything goalies. So it's been good. And from this series, Dallas, the more I watch them, they're a low key sleeper. They're a deep team, man. They added Max Domi at the deadline, which might have went underrated. And they have a decent defensive core too. I think they're a deep team, and they're backstopped by Jake Onger, which can always take you far. But yeah. I agree with you, Darius. I think this series is bound to go 7. Minnesota probably takes it today in a very low scoring game. I think you might get a 2-1 outing. Both goalies go off, but Minnesota gets that extra goal. And Matt, you think the series is over today?
I'm gonna go no, because it's probably like one of the closest playoff series, and I think Minnesota takes it tonight.
Yeah, I think that 4-0 game was kind of an outlier. Just because that power play, Dallas had a lot of momentum. Mm-hmm. You don't get a 4 goals against outing from Phil Gustafson that much this year. All things considered. But guys, the most surprising series this playoffs, the Seattle Kraken can eliminate the Colorado Avalanche tonight. They're up 3-2 on the Avalanche. Jared McCann got killed by Cale Makar. Cale Makar got suspended 1 game. And then Ty Cartier, I don't want to pronounce his name.
Cartier, I believe.
Yeah.
Cartier. That's kind of an icy name. I can't even lie. But undrafted. He kills the AHL in scoring. He comes to the NHL, scores in his debut, fellas. The first line of Ty Cartier, Matty Beniers, and Jordan Eberle get it done. Obviously, Jared McCann didn't play. Cale Makar, he served his 1 game suspension. You could argue it could have been more, but it's Cale Makar, so they're not going to give him that much. And Seattle wins. Seattle wins the game. And the question becomes, is Colorado just not their year in terms of circumstances? What like Landeskog not playing, casually looking for agency. They thought Landeskog would come back, so they didn't really make an ad at the deadline. Cale Makar is obviously playing hurt. He was injured like 5 times as the season came to an end. And Val Nichushkin, there's a whole story there, which I don't really want to dive into because I don't know everything about it, but he's away from the team for it seems like legal reasons. And you guys can read that story, but and Phil Grubauer, he's playing good. So do we think Colorado still wins this though, guys? Like, what do we think?
It's a whole there's a whole lot of variables regarding the story. There's Nutrishkin probably bringing some unwanted drama to the team. Uh, Seattle's depth, and then I think it was sort of like a mistake of Colorado because in my playoff preview I said they coasted their way throughout the season, a bunch of injuries, and then they get to the playoffs and they face adversity and something they didn't really face a whole lot of last year, and it's sort of new to them and they don't know what to do, and Seattle is capitalizing on Colorado's mistakes.
I think Seattle's going to take this series. But one thing you said at the beginning there, Nick, is the most surprising playoff series. And honestly, I don't think it is. Like, Seattle's going to win this series, and there's going to be this whole narrative about, whoa, an expansion team beat the Stanley Cup champions. And it's like, the Stanley Cup champions don't even have a team there right now. Like, everyone is out injured. Nichushkin ran away, it sounds like. I don't know. You can read the story for yourself. But what I saw yesterday was friggin' interesting.
Crazy story. Crazy
absolutely
story.
insane. It's actually
my dude,
apparently there's no legal issues. He just left. So I don't know.
my guy just Dennis Rodman himself in Seattle.
Yeah. So they like, I know it's surprising on paper, but like you said, they lost Kadri in free agency. Landeskog is not going to play for the entire playoffs. McKinnon is the only guy doing, like, he has to literally put the team on his back. Rantanen's there too, right? Scoring. Makar is hurt, also got suspended. And they have no second line. We talked about it earlier, like without the injuries and stuff. Right now, they have no second line, which is huge. Like, matchups is everything. So I just don't think they have it this year. We've seen it in years past where teams will, make the final or win the cup, and they just won't even make the playoffs the next year. We've seen it. So I think it's just a lost season for them, and I think they'll lose. But I'm gonna hate the narrative when they're all like, "Whoa, an expansion team came in."
I think it's an upset in terms of, like, you have Colorado was the division leader, right?
Yeah, like they are the defending Stanley Cup champions, right?
On paper, I would also assume if you looked at any bracket, people had Colorado going very easily over Seattle, just because Colorado has the pedigree, as they say. Which makes it the most surprising to me, in that sense. I think you look at some of the other divisional wild card matchups, top of the divisions and wild cards, like Dallas, Minnesota. Okay, that series can be close when you look at the teams on paper. Vegas, Winnipeg, you can say Vegas should have easily beat them. And then you look at Islanders and Hurricanes. You can also say that one would be close. And then you look at Florida and Boston, which it's close in the games played, but when you watch the games, isn't that close. So I think people looked at this division leader versus the wild card team. They looked at Seattle. They looked at Colorado. You say you have the Stanley Cup champions. No matter what, you always give credit to the Stanley Cup champions, no matter what's happened. And then you look at Seattle. They're not supposed to have a good goalie, and they're getting good goaltending from Grubauer. And Jared McCann's not playing. They find a way to win, right? Their team is deep. I think like there was a stat that like 18 players had 20 plus points, which 20 points is 20 points. But like when 18 players have that much, it's a lot.
It adds up.
So yeah, Seattle, a lot of fun, and I think it would be cool if they won, because honestly, I don't care about Colorado. If they lose, It's a fun story. So what do you guys all think Seattle wins this series when it's all said and done?
For the entertainment value, to see some like parity, I would like to see Seattle win, but I just know there's like some Colorado BS that's going to occur where they take games 6 and 7.
I think it's very possible. I think it's very possible Colorado still wins it, but as it stands right now, I feel like Seattle just has it. I don't know if Colorado has a lot left.
Well, hockey is also a big vibes around the team, right? Like,
definitely. For
the Leafs, the vibes around the team right now are crappy, but going into the Game 5, they were cool. But right now, Colorado, I think the whole Valerie Nichushkin thing is a big cloud above their head. Mm-hmm. And we don't know everything about it, but it's still impacting the team. Landeskog being injured, Makar coming off a suspension. And the vibes aren't great around Colorado right now, but they've been through adversity before. They've won the cup. So I honestly couldn't even tell you what's gonna happen there. But guys, we will get into our last series update here. For Matt, he's always dripped out and it's always Oilers shit. So one of the reasons we saved them for last is because they haven't played in like 5 days. Which Matt, can you tell me why the Oilers haven't played in like 5 days?
Some sort of
Lakers,
booking confusion with the Lakers and Crypto.com Arena, because Game 4 was in Edmonton. Sorry, no, Game 5 was in Edmonton, and then Game 6 would be in LA. And yeah, the last game was Tuesday night, and the next game won't be until tomorrow night. So 3 whole days in between that. Will it help the teams? Will it hurt the teams? Don't know yet, because both teams, there's not like public injury reports, but there's been some speculation on Twitter of the sort, which listen, I'm not going to name names, but if you post a video of easily like the best player in the world, showcasing him, and the caption being, "Look at his leg. I think he's injured there." Like, you may as well just paint a big target on Connor McDavid's leg and just telegraph everybody. And all the comments are like, "Oh, the Kings have scouts. They have coaches in the crowd at open practices. They're not closed." I don't care. You just don't, like, even for like future opponents.
It's bad etiquette.
If it happens to go that far, knock on wood, fellas. But you just don't do that. Like Darius said, etiquette.
Yeah. To follow up on the scheduling conflicts, usually in the first round of the NHL playoffs, either between 4 and 5 or 5 and 6, you get an extra day off, usually. So I think they gave, because the Clippers were playing Tuesday, they kind of had to make it between 5 and 6, and the Lakers are playing tonight. And the game would have landed tonight, but now it has to land tomorrow, so they get this stupid, dumb break. So there you go.
Crazy.
Maybe you should not have 4 teams playing in the same building.
4 teams. Who's the 4th?
3 teams playing in the same building.
The Clippers are getting their own arena soon, but they stink. I think one thing too is we didn't get to talk about how the Oilers have that big comeback where Matt went to sleep because they were down 3-0.
Oh boy.
And
Okay.
then Jack Campbell went in the net. You could argue he stole a game because he played so good, and also the big boys come out and they score a bunch of goals.
Yeah.
So yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool for Jack Campbell, must say. Played well.
Because in Game 4, the Kings made it like 3-0 with like less than 2 minutes to left in the first. And I work overnight shifts, and sometimes I don't catch all the Oiler games live, but for most of the playoffs, all of them except game 4, I watched them in their entirety. But as soon as the Kings made it 3-0, I was like, nope. I'm going to bed because Skinner's going to get pulled for Jack Campbell, and they're going to feed him to the slaughter.
Not watching
the Los Angeles Kings.
This.
And then I wake up and I see the score. I was like, you got to be shitting me. There's no way they pulled that off. And I'm rereading the messages that Nick and Darius had put in our Discord chat.
Can we talk about the Timbit thing? Should we mention that?
Sure.
You have not sent me my $3, Darius.
I said Timbits for Matt.
Yeah,
no, you said Timbits for everyone. He said Timbits for everyone.
No, I said we can go back and look at it. No, I didn't. Anyway,
Controversy.
Matt was going. It was 3-0, and Matt's going to bed, right? And we're like, no, Matt, don't go to bed. Whatever. And then
it's the Oilers, bro. They come back from worse.
I know, but I was like, whatever. In the intermission, I was like, you know what? Timbits on me if the Oilers come back, right? And then like Matt will get a surprise in the morning if they come back, whatever. And then, like, I'm continuing to watch the second period, and they tie the game, like, with, like, whatever, a minute left, Draisaitl, right, in the period, second period?
Yes.
On the power play? And I'm like, God damn, bro. Like, I hate this team so much. Like, of course.
Like, we're going to chat when it was, like, 3-2, and I'm like, yo, Matt, bro, you better wake up, man. This dickhead's sleeping.
I got it on Do Not Disturb, fellas. I'm not going to lie.
This sleeping, bro.
I think, who scored the fourth one? Deneau? For the Kings, the 4th goal, I can't remember. Someone scored the 4th goal. Anyway, they go up 4-3, and I was like, I'm going to bed now. I'm going to bed. So,
and then Evander Kane, didn't he fucking rip it?
Yeah,
he did.
Holy crap!
He did the exact same thing in Game 5 too.
Game 5 too. Great shot.
No, it was Matt Roy. He scored.
Oh, Matt Roy, that's right. Yeah, so he scored, and I was like, screw this, I'm going to bed. Jack Campbell masterclass, and
because
Yeah, then they ended up winning it
I
back.
got home from work and I watched the remainder of that game because I recorded it just in case, I was like, there's no way this is the
That's taking
same
down
team.
film.
There's no way. I just got a pen. There's no way like this is the same team from the first period. It's like, what happened? Like, whose lives did Woodcroft threaten in between the first and second intermission?
Yo,
Like, it worked. It worked, obviously.
He said he was going to take away McDavid's heated driveway, fellas. And
Oh,
then
no, well, he doesn't need it in April, Nick. Come on.
Oh, come on. And then October, he's going to have it reinstalled. It's too much for him. But I think one thing that's we didn't even talk about the most recent game where the Oilers went back to Stuart Skinner after Jack Campbell had an amazing outing, because I think that's a smart decision. And they killed the Kings. What was it, 6-3 or something?
6-3,
They absolutely, yeah, they killed them. So now they roll back into LA with a chance to end the series, and we'll see if they can do it. Other than that, not too much to say. But fellas,
And I don't
Matt-
even want to. Sorry. The same day Darius and I recorded the last episode was the same day of the controversial high stick call.
High stick, yeah.
And then I still see it being discussed. That's like, people, that was a week ago. Give it a rest.
Also, bro, you know what's crazy? I hate when people on Twitter like super zoom in on a clip, and it's like 144p, and they're like, "Oh, I see you." No, you don't. No, you don't. You do not see it. Or like, bro, it'll be like, when like they're reviewing to see if a puck fully crossed the line, and it's like in the goalie's equipment. And they're like, "Oh, come on, guys! I can see it right here." And it's like recorded on like an Android like 15 years ago, and it's like, "Yeah, I can see it perfectly." No, you can't. No, you can't. What
See,
are you so worried about? Like,
I
it's
get
stupid.
I get being upset in the moment, but when like, just sleep on it. When you wake up in the morning, brand new day, but like I woke up that Saturday morning and I still see it being discussed, and I had to go into Twitter. I had to mute high stick. Like, I was so sick of seeing it discussed. It's like, get over it. Get over it. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day. If I can get over it, then you can too. And I've been salty over some awful stuff like the Kessler incident, but that's another discussion. That one I'm still upset about.
Oh, I'd be with you on that if I was an Oilers fan. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, that was brutal. That was brutal. Although I know days and games have gone by since. It was a high stick. It was a high stick.
It was, but fellas, like I said, it's a new day. Yes, it is. How are we wrapping up this? How are we wrapping up this Oilers segment here, fellas? Any questions? Any concerns? Any comments?
Yeah, how's McDavid's leg?
Oh, okay, Rashog. And
Bro,
I love
this guy went from not naming names.
I
And
said it. I said it. Whatever.
As you can see here in this video, McDavid's leg, his right kneecap is dislocated.
Hey, everyone, look!
Yeah.
Look at him! Look at him!
And then Sarah Valley tweeted right after, this isn't a negative name. Love Frank Saravalli, silver-haired fox. He's my boy. He doesn't know that. But he's like, McDavid's not hurt, everybody. He's fine. I was like, okay, Frank. All right.
Yeah, nice damage control.
Yeah.
Nice damage control. Fuck. But guys, before we move on to the wrap segment of our show, do the Oilers win tomorrow? Matt.
Yes. I fully believe in this team.
The series is over. Darius, do the Oilers win tomorrow?
The Oilers win in Game 7. I feel like LA is going to come out guns a-blazing. They're on home ice. There's been a few days.
They did that in Game 4, and look what happened.
It's true.
Matt,
I don't know.
I'm with you. I think the series is over tomorrow. The Oilers will end it, and they'll go on to face the Vegas Golden Knights in the second round.
My God, if I have to see Drew Doughty for a 7th game, I'm going to lose it.
That's how I feel with Tampa, bro. Yeah. I don't want to see them anymore.
No, I'm so
sick. I'm done.
I feel your pain, Matt. So I get so sick of these guys.
But fellas, so some fun stuff. Let's get into some personal life stuff. So your boy finally ended his second semester of university, second year of university. Thank you, Darius.
Golf claps.
Thank you. So yeah, a little more free time here. So when we're actually done recording the show, I can literally upload it right away because I have nothing to do, which is cool. I literally have nothing to do. But so yeah, that's over. Tough semester, but we powered through. I think throughout this year. We stuck true to our podcast, even though we were busy at times, and it's been a lot of fun. And we're gonna go all the way through summer, all the time, every time. And so on Tuesday, me and Darius linked up for the first time in like 5 years, which is crazy because we both lived in Mississauga the whole time. We don't live that far from each other. Maybe
Not really.
20-minute drive.
Yeah.
No, but it's like we're online friends. Like we met at Steelheads games. But we've been online friends even though like we live beside each other. With mine, it makes more sense. The guy lives in fucking wherever he lives, Manitoba. But not to dox you, of course.
Boo Egypt, that's where I live.
But so, I haven't played. Darius plays like organized ball hockey. His season just started. Even though he skipped the game. But but
Was it for a good reason, Darius?
It didn't turn out to be.
But we played on Tuesday at a high school. A lot of fun. I haven't played hockey in so long, and I've been playing more basketball recently, and I'm very shit at basketball, like very bad. But I'm also not that great at hockey. But I'm way better at hockey than I am at basketball. So Darius, just for fun, I think we should do this. If you were to break down my game, I'm gonna do the same thing for you.
Okay.
How would you break down my game?
You're very stoic. You're very you have a good defensive stick. Take care of the defensive zone very well. You're not afraid to get in the corners. That's what I learned. That's what I saw. Very responsible defensively, and you can let it fly. You got a good clapper. So.
Oh, Nick Pronger, let's go.
Yeah. I was talking about this with Darius. So my left hand is my dominant hand, and I shoot left, which is not how you're supposed to do it.
Very weird.
Your dominant hand should be at the top of the stick so you can stick handle. So I'm terrible.
I've never heard that because I'm a lefty and I shoot left as well.
Yeah?
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
I'm the same thing for a goalie. Like I catch with my left hand instead of catching with my.
Most people it's the opposite because your dominant hand should be at the top of the stick.
Yeah, and then for goalies, your dominant hand should be the one holding the stick, like your blocker hand. But I have it the opposite. Like my blocker hand is my right hand.
Catch with your left. Oh, that's weird.
I catch with my left, and it's my dominant. And I had a friend tell me it's like, no, it shouldn't be like that. Like your dominant hand should be the one holding the stick. And I was like, well, are you sure? Like,
well, it's because like your dominant hand, you have more control with it, right? So what's at the top of the stick as like a skater, you have more control. So now when I take a slap shot or any shot, for example, I'm letting it fly with my dominant hand. So my shot is very hard, like it's extremely hard. When I was growing up playing, people used to be very scared of my slap shot because it was very hard.
You crack them.
It's extremely hard.
You do. Like the first time I saw you shoot, I was like, holy shit. And then you did it again. I was like, you're cracking these. Like,
yeah, no, like shooting is I'm okay. Like I have a decent wrister too. I can kind of fire them, but slap shots I can launch cannons. But like it's cool. Now so Darius, my scout report of Darius is he's a lazy player, man. I will say that. No, but like it wasn't really like that because I don't when I told Darius to pull up, I didn't expect us to play a game at all.
No, I thought
we were just gonna shoot around and chill. Because Darius was like, oh yeah, I'll show up. I'll chill for like half an hour, and then we were there for like 2 hours. It was crazy.
You know why though? Because I was like, these guys were like, hey, you want to play a game? And I'm like, sure, we can play like one game, whatever, up to 3. And then I lost, and I was like, no, we're playing more. I'm staying.
Yeah, it was fun. No, it was good fun. Darius is smart player. We had a decent cycle play, high IQ play. It was fun.
That was nuts.
Good times.
That was nuts.
Yeah. I don't think anyone was really trying that hard. Like one guy was. But yeah, it was fun. Good times. But and for Matt, anything interesting happening over the week, man? Anything at all?
Other than the Oilers, no, I watched the new John Mulaney stand-up special.
Very good.
Very good.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Question. Is that some like white people shit?
Absolutely. Yes, very much so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, word. Fair enough.
It's also crazy. Like, if we can just touch on it for a second, like the fact that he went through all that shit in like the last 3 years, and now he's just doing stand-up again and he's clean is very crazy. Like,
I also want to the white people shit conversation is crazy because I remember I was talking to some of the guys from the Daniel Navy ASHL team because they were all like talking about Bo Burnham, right?
Oh, Inside was fantastic. That's
one
of my favorite specials ever.
No, listen. I'm on. They're talking about it for like half an hour, right? I haven't said a word. And they're like, Nick, how come you're not saying anything? So my question was, fellas, is this some white people shit? Because we're all white, right? And they're like, you know what, Nick? Yes, it's some white people shit. So obviously, I have nothing to add to the conversation if it's some white people shit. And I mean that in the most positive, nice way. Sometimes certain things are just white people shit, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I think Bo Burnham, though, that insight is very relatable to what we just went through the last like 3 years, though.
It's also like if you watch that in like 10 years, like I feel like it would just give you some like horrific flashbacks of what went on 3 years ago. But it's also an ungentle reminder of what happened, and sometimes you need that.
Yeah, I think it was good for the time to be like, oh, that's nice. Somebody is also feeling this way. But like, if I don't think I could watch that like 2-3 years from now. It would be very.
But there's weird. A difference because like I never had to go through like when it all started. I didn't go through quarantine. Like my work was like, hey, wait, you're showing up, right?
Yeah,
I guess so.
Dude, during the pandemic, so much video games were played. I low-key miss it. I low-key miss it.
Man,
a little bit.
Like after, like I think it was like March. What was March 12th? Is that when
13th.
Everything? March 13th. Okay.
When Rudy Gobert ended the world. Rudy Gobert single-handedly ended the world.
And then I get back home from work, and then I turn on SportsCenter, and there's this whole like everyone's like, something tragic happened in the sports world today, and they're like announcing all like the leagues have canceled. I was like, oh, what am I gonna do with my life now?
I
will say, like that whole time was really dark, right? But those first 2 weeks were immaculate.
When it clicked in for me, the moment the pandemic clicked in for me is when I turned on TSN and there's like the esports NBA 2K. I was like, is this what we've come to?
All right, fellas, this is good talk for the off season. Let's get out of here.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, I do want to say I haven't been posting on TikTok lately because I had to reset my laptop, and guys, I have no idea what the password is. I literally have no clue. Like not the slightest clue. And the email that was set up for the TikTok that I use, I don't have access to that email anymore. So I gotta figure that out. I was trying to do it the other day, but I was tired and I got frustrated because I was tired. So I'm gonna kick the can again later today and try it again, try and get back in. But yeah, I haven't posted on that account in like a month, which is my fault. I'm sorry for that. Because Darius has been making them, but the YouTube shorts, they're still going up there. They're getting a lot of views.
They're up there, yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah, but thank you guys so much for the support. We're getting like 100 views on like all our segments now, which is pretty cool. TikToks, obviously they're not doing well because I'm not posting them, but the YouTube shorts, they're doing great. Thank you. Even if you hate us and you post some dumb shit in the comments,
that's interaction, baby.
I love the interaction. So yeah, but fellas, the rap question today, what are you guys looking most forward to doing now that the weather is getting nicer? Matt, I'll defer to you first.
I'm getting excited that I don't have to shovel snow.
The fair.
That shit was like ass, fair. Bro. Come on, man.
No, they got different winters. They got different winters.
Okay, just like the summer activities, like being outside.
This guy fucking sucks, eh? I'm like, guys, what's the most thing?
Okay, hiking. I got it.
Summer activities.
I got into hiking last year. Hiking.
You're a hiker?
I'm a hiker.
No way.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I can get with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But could you see Matt like, yo guys, I can't play today. I'm going on a hike. Like, come on.
What if I told you I'm doing that this weekend?
Yeah, he's gonna.
Come on.
What are you most looking forward to this summer?
I picked up tennis last year, and I never saw myself playing tennis before, and it's very fun. If you have a few people, you can do like doubles. Fun sport, and it's nice to get out, and it's not too hard of a workout. So, looking forward to some tennis, maybe just hanging out outside and barbecue, stuff like that. When there's not, when there's more chill sports on, like after the playoffs and stuff, it's a good time. You just chill outside and whatever. I like it. So
I haven't been able to play like any outdoor hockey in like 3 years because I used to play on my street, but then people get older, people get lives. It's harder to play.
Yeah.
But now that there's a place to play near me, hopefully I can wrangle some of the fellas, and play a little more. And Darius, we gotta try out pickleball. Now that there's a court there, eh?
Yeah.
One day we gotta run pickleball. And Matt, you gotta fly in. You gotta fly in soon, bro. You gotta fly in eventually. It's almost that time. It's almost
get
that time.
Get ready for the inevitable live episode of the Gritcast. We're all
I
huddling around a
cannot
mic.
wait for that.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for that. That's something we definitely got to do.
Or
but
you can
fellas,
just take
on
the
that note-
23-hour drive from where you live to here.
Hell no!
Enjoy
Are
that.
you kidding
Hey
me?
Matt, you want a discount on a flight, bro? Just hit your boy up. Just hit your
Oh
boy
right,
up. That's all I'm saying.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, just hit your boy up.
Connections.
But anyway,
No friends in the industry.
We are gonna wrap the episode there. Hopefully, both of our teams pull out wins on Saturday. Would be nice. Would be very nice. But at least probably won't. Anyways, go Leafs go. It's still go
Let's
Leafs
go
go no
Oilers.
matter what.
Yeah.
Go Oilers, as Matt would say. And with that being said, fellas, we're listening to this in the day. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing night. If this is while driving, always try to stay, fellas. See you guys in the next episode next week. Goodbye.
For more content, visit our YouTube channel and check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to follow the guys on social media at Matt_Mondays, at Nik LaFlame, and at Darius Dominguez.